Yo, what's good everybody? Welcome back to episode 3 on getting back to the basics with the ketogenic diet. My name is Logan Delgado. I am a proud father, a proud husband. I've lost a total of 70 pounds utilizing the ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting. And I've now dedicated my life to help you, yes, you remind yourself that it's never too late to become what you might have been. So guys, so many questions in the comments and I'm absolutely loving all the comments. You guys are leaving so many amazing questions. So I'm gonna start this video off with some really good news. So I went back and talked to a bunch of my sponsors and I said, look, I wanna do something really special for you guys. So if you comment in today's video, one lucky winner is gonna receive $250 worth of supplements from Synfit, American Metabolics, and Physique. If you guys don't know those brands, well, American Metabolics I have been working with for years. We even actually did some collaborations together and we came out with our own keto meal replacement. I don't know if you guys know about that, but it's boom right here. It is the best and one of the original ketogenic, true ketogenic meal replacements. And also I have partnered with Synfit. You guys know I make my crazy Frenchy eggs, 0-calorie pancake syrup. I can really put that on anything. I know I'm a little crazy, but I'm absolutely a huge fan of them and their seasonings as well. And then our newest partner brand, which is Physique, which is a ready-to-go carbonated protein drink. Have you ever gone like to a gas station and you want something like, you know, kind of like that tastes like an energy drink with that carbonation feel, but none of it ever has protein, right? And the only protein you can get is like those muscle milk where they're just packed with tons of ingredients and don't really taste that good. Well, Physique's got you covered. It's a flavored carbonated drink with 15 grams of whey protein and it tastes absolutely amazing. And also, here's the kicker, guys. I'm also gonna give you a meter from my company, BioCoach, to check your ketones, which we will get into a little bit later in this video on why I'm gonna be giving you that. Also, part of that giveaway, I'm gonna give 30 minutes free of my one-on-one coaching. So I'm gonna call you up. Yes, I'm gonna call you. Call me on my cell phone. Hit you up and be like, yo, what's up, bro? This is Goody. Let's chat. Give you a 30-minute consultation on your weight loss journey. So yes, one lucky winner is gonna receive that. And the only way to win, you have to comment down below. Leave a question. Leave a comment on why you love this series. Leave a comment on why you're grateful. Leave a comment on what keto's done for you. I don't care what it is. Just leave a comment and one lucky winner is gonna receive all those things. And that's just our way to say thank you. That's just my way to say thank you. Thank you to the loyal subscribers, always showing love, hitting that like button, sharing this video on their Facebook. I just appreciate it. And this year, 2022, for me, it's all about giving back to you guys and giving away as many things with my partner brands and my own company as much as I can, just to say thank you. Let's dive into tip number 1 on getting back to keto basics. So when you do the ketogenic diet, did you know that is one of the only diets that you can test to see if you're doing it correctly? That's pretty insane, right? When you do keto, you're gonna get in a state of ketosis. That's what you wanna get into because that is gonna help you burn body fat and give you increased energy, mental clarity, all the benefits on why people do the ketogenic diet in the first place. Well, guess what? What is the best way to test if you're doing the ketogenic diet correctly? Well, I'm gonna give you a couple of things. I'm actually gonna give you 3 things that you can do. Number 1 is what a lot of people do, and that's the pee test. Peeing on a pee strip to seeing what color it is, and wherever your ketones are, it's gonna show you what level you should be on. But I will tell you this, pee tests are very inaccurate. There's so many variables when it comes into pee tests. I would say the pee strips are something that's basic. It's the cheapest thing you can go, but doesn't really give you the most accurate reading. I would say for beginners, it would be something kind of cool to see where it's at. But if you truly want to know if you're in ketosis, you got to go with the gold standard. And the gold standard is going to be a ketone meter. And I do have one right here. It looks like this. Hopefully let's see if that's in focus. Yes, that is in focus. This is what I use right here, guys. This is a Keto Coach blood ketone meter. It's gonna tell you what levels of ketones you have in your blood. So it checks for beta hydroxybutyrate in the blood. If your reading on this meter is 0 to 0.4, you are not in a state of ketosis. Anything higher than 0.4 is in nutritional ketosis. That is a good thing. So one other thing that I'm sure a lot of you probably always see, you see your friends posting their readings and they're at a 3.0, they're at a 1.5, and you're at a 0.7. You're like, man, why can't I get my damn ketones higher? Let me just tell you this right now. Don't panic. Hispanic. Everything's gonna be okay. This is what I always tell my clients, and this is actually what I tell myself as well. I never have high ketones. I can never get them in 3.0. I can hardly ever, I don't even remember the last time I've had them over 2.0. They always range from about 0.6 to 1.1. That's probably where my ketones are always at. And that's totally fine. Just because someone has 3.0 or higher, or just because someone has higher ketones than you, does not mean they are doing anything better than you. That doesn't mean they are better off or they're further along in their ketone journey. Everybody's body's gonna respond differently to ketosis, meaning your body is gonna use the ketones differently. Everybody is. Maybe you're more active than the other person that's doing the ketogenic diet, so they're not burning up as many ketones, which is why when they do their readings, their ketones are higher. Let me give you an example. For me, I am very active. I'm always up, I'm moving around. If you look at my desk right now, I can't really show you, but I have a stand-up desk. I never, ever sit down. When I'm doing emails, when I'm editing, when I'm recording, as I'm recording right here, I'm not sitting down. I'm always up and moving around, and I exercise a lot. I do cardio in the morning, I train in the afternoons, I do post-workout cardio as well. When I check my ketones after my workout, guess what? I'm always depleting them. It reads like 0.2. I don't care. That doesn't matter, right? Because that doesn't mean I'm doing anything wrong. That just tells me that I've used my ketones as energy and they're gonna slowly raise back up. So for you guys, if you wanna test if you're doing the ketogenic diet correctly, I highly recommend you get a blood ketone meter. And remember, one lucky winner is gonna receive a blood ketone meter just by commenting down below. So that is the gold standard when it comes to checking ketones. There's also another way to test, and that is doing a ketone breathalyzer, I believe. It's like you blow in this ketone meter and it will give you a number. Now, I'll tell you the truth, guys, I know nothing about this. I've never done this before. I've seen some research on it and I've seen things saying that it's not very accurate. Some people say it is. I'm not sure. I'll put it right here. This is what it is. If you're interested in it, you can go check it out. I'm sure there's some YouTube videos on it, but I really don't have too much knowledge on it. The only one benefit that I would say from it is that you don't have to prick your finger. Even though I'm telling you, it does not hurt to prick your finger. Some people don't, and I totally get it. So you can go with the breathalyzer to see if you're in ketosis, but I will say this, it is pretty expensive. But again, like everything else, guys, there are pros and cons to everything. If you don't want to prick your finger, we'll pay a little bit extra money, you can get this. Don't mind pricking your finger, well then you're gonna save money by getting a ketone meter like so. So there you go, that is tip number one, guys. I would highly recommend testing to see if you're doing the ketogenic diet correctly. Okay, so I want to take this time and answer a couple of questions, and we got some really good ones. So first one is from Eddie. Here's a question: how do you approach powerlifting while on keto, especially as a person who competes? This is a great question. So yes, I do have a lot of friends who do compete in powerlifting. Not all of them do keto, but yes, you can do keto and powerlift. Obviously, since you're a powerlifter, and you know how to train and you compete, training is one part of it. But for most people who wanna work with me, a lot of them also wanna build on strength and they wanna at some point do some type of powerlifting. Well, I always tell them, okay, well, you gotta make sure you have the right training program, okay? That's number one. So it looks like you got that down. Number two, you're gonna have to eat an increased amount of protein. Also, what I would recommend is incorporating some modified ketogenic diet. And what I mean by that is before your powerlifting sessions, incorporate some type of carbs, just small amounts of carbs. Now, I don't wanna confuse a lot of you. You're probably thinking like, wait a minute, I'm trying to do the ketogenic diet, but I also wanna powerlift. He's telling me to eat carbs. Now, what I'm telling you is to eat a small amount, like 30 grams of carbs. That is not a lot. You don't need a lot of carbs going into your workout, but you can still get the same benefits as your other buddies who are probably on a high carb diet doing powerlifting. You can get the same benefits as them. Okay, sorry about that, but the aperture was like moving in the background. It was actually throwing everything off. I couldn't pay attention. I'm watching the screen that's showing me everything and it was getting like super wide, so I do apologize. You're gonna get the same benefits all while doing the ketogenic diet. You just modified it, okay? You just modified it to what your needs are and what you're trying to accomplish. I know you can still get strong. I know you can still build muscle doing a ketogenic diet. if you modify it, I think you will really get the benefits, because I know in powerlifting, you have to come in a certain weight as well. And so you can stay relatively lean, maybe even drop down a weight class, keep that strength while modifying your ketogenic diet. Okay, next question is from Crystal Ball. I think I'm saying that correctly. What do you recommend as far as keto diet for long shifts at work? I'm a first responder in Houston, and I typically work 24-hour shifts twice a week. And then she has a second question, which I'll answer as well. And also, for craving sweets, are there any good options there? All right, so great question. Yes, and I do have some clients that work crazy shifts. I have police officers as clients. I have truck drivers as clients. So I totally get it. Okay, so you're a first responder. You work 24 hours shifts twice a week. So you don't know when you're gonna eat. You don't know what you're gonna do. I would highly recommend for you, since you have a crazy schedule on that day, is doing OMAD, 1 meal a day, and then the rest of the time, you just fast. You have one huge meal, maybe going into work, maybe sometime you find a break in between that 24 hours, and you just have a really big meal that's gonna be really big in fats, really big in protein, so you stay full, you stay satiated, and you keep that energy level high, okay? That is what I would recommend. On your regular days, I would highly recommend you go back to your strict ketogenic diet with 3 to 4 meals a day, if not more. That is what I would recommend for someone who has a crazy shift like that. And I wouldn't even be opposed to you maybe fasting for 24 hours. I know when you hear the word fasting, most people have a negative thought. They think, oh my God, I'm not gonna fast for 24 hours. He's trying to starve me. Listen, I'm pretty damn lean, okay? I'm not, I would say, overweight by any means, but I still have a good amount of fat on my body fat, that I can last 24 hours without eating, and I will be perfectly fine. I'm not gonna starve to death. I'm not going to die. I will be okay, and most of you will be just fine not eating for 24 hours. It's just that our mindset, and especially here in America, where we're taught to eat every two hours, I get it, it can be tough. So we're going totally against the narrative. But OMAD or 24 hours of fasting, and I think you'd be perfectly fine. Next question now, when it comes to these sweet cravings, there are a couple things that you could do. There's a couple things that I'm gonna do, and you may think I'm crazy, which is fine. One recommendation when you want something sweet, I would do this little diet hack that I absolutely love to do, and that's chop up cucumbers super thin, but where they're still like crunchy, throw Splenda on them. Throw Splenda with 0-calorie pancake syrup like I have right here by Sinfit. Oh my gosh, talk about a dessert, talk about a craving. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you guys, don't knock it until you try it. Because a lot of us, when you do keto, you miss that crunchy feeling. Like a lot of us are stopping the snacking, we're stopping the chips and all those things. Well, you get that crunchy feeling from a cucumber, you get that Splenda, that sweet craving that's gonna satisfy that sweet tooth, and then you throw a little pancake syrup on it right here. Oh my gosh, guys, it tastes so good. Also, now you gotta be careful with this next one because you can overdo it. I would not consider this a snack. I would mostly consider that this could potentially be a meal depending on how much you eat. Is celery and peanut butter. Yes, celery and peanut butter are so good. Now, I'm not telling you to get that celery and stick a huge chunk of peanut butter. Just put a little bit, just a little bit, because peanut butter will add up, or almond butter, whatever you prefer. And those are good ways to combat that sweet tooth. Also, you get those little stevia on there as well. So those are a couple of things that you can do to battle that sweet tooth. Okay, next question is from William Porter. So you mentioned to track your carbs if you're doing the ketogenic diet. How many carbs do you want to stay under in a day? All right, yes. So this is actually going to correlate with what I talked about earlier in the video, and that was ketosis. If you want to stay in ketosis, if you want to do the ketogenic diet correctly, you want to stay under 30 grams of carbs. Now, this is where the debate comes from when we talk about net carbs and just carbs overall total, right? What do you count? Logan, do you count net carbs? Do you count total amounts of carbs? I will say this. If you just want to make it safe proof, you want to make sure that you don't go over your carbs. You want to make sure that you want to be in ketosis. You don't want to have any hiccups. You don't want to have any mess ups. Then I would highly recommend you only track total carbs. So If you don't know what net carbs means, what that means is there are a couple of categories on back of nutrition labels. Let me see if this one has it. This one doesn't have it, but this has a total carbs of 0. Let's just say it had 2 carbs. Underneath, it should say dietary fiber. If under this one it had dietary fiber and it had 1, well then that would mean that this product has 1 net carbs. What people tend to do is that they will have a total of 30 net carbs. They'll subtract the fiber, they'll subtract the sugar alcohol, because you don't count sugar alcohol as well, but their total carbs will be like maybe 70, 80, a lot, but they just subtract all the fiber and all the sugar alcohol. I do tend to see a big difference between people who track total and people who track net. People who track total tend, in my experience, my clients tend to have much better success than people who only track net carbs. I always recommend tracking net carbs, but I totally get it. There are a lot of awesome and amazing products out there that you can get that are low carb, ketogenic friendly, where it's only net carb this, net carb that, subtract this, subtract that. I would highly recommend you track total, just so it's safe proof, it's fail proof, and you will make sure you're not running into any roadblocks, and you will make sure that you are staying in ketosis, you're in that fat burning zone, and you're not gonna get knocked out because you had way too much of these keto friendly products. Okay, last question. How do you gain healthy weight on keto? I was pre-diabetic, haven't checked my A1C again. By the way, if you want to check your A1C, head over to biocoach.io and you can get yourself an A1C at-home testing kit. You can check your A1C in the comfort and the privacy of your own home, and it comes with 4 tests, and you can test other people in your household, like your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, whoever you want to test. So just cheeky little shout out right there. I was already within BMI and I already do weight training. So, okay. Yes, you can gain weight on keto. I don't know why people don't think you can gain weight on keto. I know this was really big when keto first came out. It was like, oh my God, keto is amazing. You can eat 1,000 calories, infinity calories, and you won't gain weight. Wrong, that is not true. Yes, you can gain weight, but it's all gonna come down to, and this is big time, because I see this all over Instagram, I see this all over TikTok, I see this all over YouTube, and I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I truly do believe there is a right way to do keto and there's a not so right way to do keto. And this is what I mean by this. I see a lot of keto people out there eating everything underneath the sun when it comes to keto products. Keto-friendly breakfast burritos, keto-friendly pizzas for lunch, keto-friendly Pop-Tarts for a snack. There's so many keto-friendly products right out there. I see people do that all day. And then there's other people who are eating strictly egg, bacon, avocado, grass-fed beef with butter and veggies. And then at night, they're having steak or they're having salmon with, again, grass-fed butter, coconut oil, veggies. Both people are doing the ketogenic diet. Both people are doing keto. But one person's getting all these products, all these manufactured foods, you know, heat in the oven, put in the microwave, and then another person is cooking all their foods, cooking all their meals. They know exactly what's going into them and very little ingredients as possible. Yes, you can gain weight, and yes, there are multiple ways to do the ketogenic diet, and there's obviously much, much better ways than doing it instead of just slapping a pound of cheese, a pound of sour cream, and putting a whole freaking cup of heavy whipping cream into your coffee every single morning.